Cowboy Bebop is hailed as one of the greatest animated television series in the history of the medium, being a critical and commercial success both in the Japanese and international markets, having garnered several major anime and science fiction awards, and has received unanimous praise for its style, characters, story, voice acting, animation, soundtrack, ability to end world hunger. I'm pretty sure it's able to rewind time to fix all the wrongdoings in the world, and yet if you don't live in the USA or pay for Funimation's reasonably priced DVDs, then your next best bet was to scour the local bargain bin or Aldi middle aisle. But after all these years, Netflix has answered our prayers and made it available to the masses worldwide, in the form of a live-action adaptation. And for the first time, many new fans will finally get to experience the tense relationship problems of the Virgin Icarus versus the Chad Vicious. I know they've had a rocky start with their previous live-action adaptations, but I'm glad to say that they absolutely knocked it out of the park this time, and gave us the adaptation we were all waiting for.
I need proof first. If it is what you say it is, then we make a deal. Then we have cupcakes. Yeah, who don't like cupcakes?
For ages, countless fans and new-time watchers have relished in the soulful jazz, engaging characters, and gripping plot. They didn't need to overanalyze every minor frame or word of dialogue, because the production did such a fantastic job of making the show a complete package. Storylines and character arcs were wrapped up neatly, but the ending left itself open to interpretation, and many fans were quite happy to let its legacy live on. Until now, that is.
Am I really gonna defile this grave for money? Of course I am!
As the titular cowboy western, sci-fi, slice of life, drama, child-raising, PS2 video game starring Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford. It's a name that's left a sizable mark on history, and one that also has a legacy that could be hard to live up to. If you're one of the few people who still has no idea what Cowboy Bebop is, or what it's all about even after all these years, I've prepared this little plot synopsis for you.
But hey, I'm happy to stake it out alone, and the all-you-can-eat noodle bar afterwards.
Yeah, that about covers it. Now, Netflix have made a minor reputation for themselves by tinkering with the source material when it comes to their live-action adaptations, with wildly mixed reviews, and that's no exception here. During production, the decision was made to bring back the original composer Yoko Kanno to do the music, and I have to pat you on the back for this one, Netflix, because it's probably the best choice you could have possibly made. The music has all the style, flair, and emotion of the original, and without it, the show would have never truly felt like Bebop. With one step forward must also come a step back, however, as the rather confusing decision was made to completely replace the original characters and hire some 3D high-polygon actors instead for this adaptation, which left many fans in a state of disappointment. Come on, Netflix, get yourself together. You can spend $300 million on Stranger Things, but you can't even hire the Spike Spiegel? Man, I've not felt this disappointed since M. Night Shyamalan thought Sand would make a great horror movie villain. Along with its legacy, it also has one of the most memorable openings of all time. Tank. An absolute treat of jazz that'll worm its way into your head, and has been covered by many musical artists and bands from around the world, including the Black Eyed Peas, my Skyrim playing Fridge, and my personal favourite, Edgar Wright's Baby Driver.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Imagine being in the board meeting with the production team. So, we've got this new sci-fi show and we're thinking of a techno-noir theme song perhaps.
You like jazz?
Skipping this intro should be considered a war crime, so why would you even offer this to me, Netflix? Of course, it wouldn't be a Netflix adaptation without some minor nitpicks or controversies, and this time there's been plenty around the addition of some lines of dialogue, the biggest one revolving around the friendship between Spike and Jet. Now in the original release, Jet states, "Only hands can wash hands. If you want to receive, you have to give," referring to the cyclical nature of karma and that what goes around comes around, especially in their partnership with Faye as the series progresses. Now, in the Netflix version, this line is changed to, "You know they have bidets in the bathroom? Damn things are addictive. Next big score? I'm getting one for the ship. One for each foot." And it's pretty clear why people aren't happy with this. Because if you look at the subtext, you'll understand that the washing of one's hands implies a level of cleanliness in the world of Bebop, and that the nature of passing on goodwill to another will in turn bring that goodwill back to you. And in Netflix's version it implies Jet is a fucking idiot. Now I'll admit that making a live-action adaptation of one of the most popular anime was always going to be a monumental task, so I think we should appreciate all the good moments that Netflix adapted, like this.
You'll never know true power until you've tasted the testicles of a man who's wronged you.
And this.
Moshi mushy.
Or what about,
Sounds to me like blackmail.
You're damn right it is, because, Jet, you are black and you are male.
as you can see, they've really kept the nuance and subtlety for this adaptation in order to really bring these characters to life faithfully and not turn them into a mockery of memes online, so credit where credit's due. Admittedly, one thing I'm looking forward to is seeing some of the coolest looking cast of characters make the transition from 2D to live action. Spike, Jet, Faye. These characters set a modern precedent for how three unlikely individuals are able to put aside their differences and slowly come together and become a found family over the course of their adventures together. Wait, hang on a second, something's not right. There's one character missing from this ensemble, arguably the most important person in the show as a whole, and without whom the quality would just plummet into the dirt.
You smarty little fuzzy pants.
Oh, thank God. Who's a good? Oh, Jesus Christ. Cowboy Bebop is the absolute classic merging of both Western and sci-fi, with an engaging plot, well-written characters, and a killer soundtrack that provides you with the complete package. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's absolutely no excuse now. Watching Netflix's version isn't just like watching a classic show get reimagined 25 years later. It's like watching your childhood be blindfolded, put in a box, driven out of the middle of nowhere before being dumped into a river. But at least you got a gold medal for participation out of it. If this is the level of writing quality that we can expect from Netflix going forward, then boy howdy, sign me up for The Last Airbender.